Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. It's a new prescription for a new you, America. Let's go to Terry. Hi, Terry. Welcome to the show. How can I help?
How are you tonight?
Living well. What's up?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I would hear the very end of your Health Minute every time I turned the radio on, and it was about warts. And I have a daughter who has a couple that are underneath her fingernails, and she's had these since she was a teenager. And the doctors never wanted to do anything because they didn't want to, mess up her nail bed. I'm just wondering if there's anything that she could take to help with those.
Well, the standard is salicylic acid. It kind of burns off the wart, kills the virus, because that's what a wart is. It's a viral infection. And that can work externally, but there's still internally some things that need to happen. You can use ionic silver. What is her age?
She's 23.
Oh, okay. She's an adult. I gotcha. Yeah, she can handle about 20 drops of ionic silver 2 to 3 times per day, and I would use wormwood tincture. Wormwood works very well. Use it 21 days on and about 7 days off. It works very well. It tastes terrible, but it works well. And I would use those two. And then, of course, on the external part, you put the salicylic acid in it. You put it over it about 3 times a day. It's the standard stuff you get at any drugstore. And it technically will make the skin go dead, and it will burn out or they call it burning out, but it really just kills the virus around that. But you got to handle it internally. If not, that's why the wart keeps coming back and you can't get rid of it. So
right. How much of the wormwood tincture will she use?
She can handle about 20 drops twice a day on an empty stomach. Will be fine.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Let me throw one more kink in this. She is nursing.
Throw
is
me
that
the
going to be a problem?
She's nursing right now?
Yes, she's nursing a baby, so is that going to be a problem?
Yeah, it throws a big kink in it. Can't do the wormwood.
Okay.
No wormwood. No, what she needs to do is she needs to just deal with the warts till she's done nursing. Mm-hmm. And once she's done nursing, that's when you need to do it. Because, the wart's not life-threatening. It just bothers her.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do the salicylic acid on the outside of the skin. That's not going to mess up anything. But I would not do anything on the internal side. The one thing she can do is she can do oregano oil. Now, it's good with antiviral, antibacterial, and anti-yeast, and it's not really going to affect her as far as the breast milk goes or anything like that and affect the baby. So you can do a tablespoon of that a day and a tablespoon of cod liver oil. Those will actually both be beneficial for the baby. So I would do that, get started, and let me know how things go. But wait on the wormwood and the silver until after she's done nursing. Thanks so much for the call. 888-283-7272. Let's go to, I think it's Charlotte T. Is that right? Charlotte. He just spelled it wrong. Welcome, Charlotte.
I'm having a lot of trouble with my sugar.
Okay.
I've been on prednisone, and I've had to go to the hospital lots of times and to get it lowered. I'm on insulin at home, 40 units. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that I can do to bring my sugar down on my own?
There's a lot you can do to bring your sugar down on your own. Now, Charlotte, have they talked to you, or have you changed anything with your diet and what you eat every single day?
No.
All right. Let me tell you this. Food is your best medicine. It is the one thing that will change you more than anything else. Now, the insulin is keeping you stabilized, but it's not going to get you well. You follow me? So it's managing your health. It's not changing your health. We need to do things that are going to change your health. And what you eat is the main thing, because it's type 2 diabetes, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, what you ate got you into this situation. So if you haven't made any changes and you're living the same lifestyle, eating the same things, doing the same things that you've been doing for the past 5-10 years, then you're fueling the fire. You're not making any changes that are going to get you out of where you are. So let's talk about what's going to do that. In my book, Empowering Your Health, I talk a lot about what's called an anti-inflammatory diet. It is the diet that we use clinically all the time for people that are dealing with diabetes and a host of other health challenges. So first thing you want to do is you want to change the way you eat. Every meal, so if you get your carbohydrates from fruits and vegetables alone and that's it, then you're going to be in a good spot. Then you also want to have good healthy fats, the omega-3s, 6s, and 9s like almonds, walnuts, cashews, and avocados. Every meal, you need a protein, you need a carbohydrate like a fruit or vegetable, and you need a good healthy fat. If you eat like that and keep those 3 meals a day with a couple of snacks in between, That's going to help stabilize your blood sugar levels so that your pancreas, which is the little gland or organ that secretes the insulin in your body, will begin to balance out and begin to stabilize. So are there things you can do? Absolutely, Charlotte. You start eating that way, get a copy of my book, and start following that diet, and you're going to do very well. Now, let me tell you a couple of supplements that will help, too, and you can pick these up at your health food store. One of our health coaches can help you. You want to do ionic chromium, ionic vanadium, ionic manganese. Those are 3 minerals that you can do. So chromium, manganese, and vanadium. And then there's also an antioxidant called alpha lipoic acid, or ALA. All 4 of those together, you take them with each meal, and it'll help stabilize your blood sugar levels and help you. Now, the short-term victory for you is not going to be just to come off of insulin completely, but it's to see 40 units go down to 30 units, and then pretty soon 30 units will turn into 20 units, and then it'll turn into 10 units, and then 5 units, and see, that's the victory. That's what we want to see to get your body stabilized, and that's when you're going to start to win and see your body function the way it was designed to. So there's a lot you can do. All this really lies in your hands. And just as much as you've done the wrong kind of things over the years to get your body into a place where your blood sugar levels are not where they need to be, you can make these radical changes right now and see your health improve. And see, all that lies in your hands. You can make the changes today to get better health for tomorrow, and that's what we want to see for you here on the show. So let me know how things go. Stay in touch with me. Do those basic things and watch what will happen. You're going to start going to your doctor, and they're going to be like, what are you doing? What things have you changed in your life? It's going to empower them and encourage them as well as to see your health and your life change. Thanks for the call. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. You're listening to the show where your health is your greatest wealth. Let's go to Joan. Hi, Joan. Welcome to the show.
Having a problem with, my doctor says I have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat.
Okay. And you want to fix it, right?
Yes.
As we say in the South.
And I want to fix it with natural medicine, no over-the-counter drugs.
I understand. Are you taking medications now?
I stopped.
You stopped?
Yeah.
Now, did your doctor tell you to stop, or you stopped?
I stopped.
All right, and we need to talk about that, because high blood pressure, I'm okay if you went cold turkey on the cholesterol medication, but the blood pressure medication is something that you need to really consider. So why don't we do this? We'll go into a commercial break right now, and we'll talk about, when we come out of it, we'll talk about high blood pressure, high cholesterol, ways to manage those, and using medications, but also doing it for more of the natural or preventative side of things, and how to get your body working right, because remember, cholesterol is a liver issue, but it can also affect the heart. We'll talk about ways to balance that when we come out of this commercial break. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. I'm your health and lifestyle coach, diagnosing hope one caller at a time.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
We can lifestyle our way into getting sick. We can lifestyle our way out and get well. We just have to make the kind of changes in our life. We have to make the mental shift. Then we have to decide that we want to get well, we want to stay well, and we want to live well. So it's important that we understand that. And if you do, and you can make that shift within your mind, so much can happen in your life. And it really comes down to the want to. And I'll talk about that all the time because it's true. And we have medicine, and we have all kinds of great information. We can create nutritional tips. There's all kinds of tools that we can use to help our health. But really, when it comes down to it, whether it's the latest diet fad or supplement or whatever it might be, the reality is if you're not ready, that's the one thing that, when you're working with patients as a physician, you can see that. I mean, instantly, you're able to walk into a room and talk with someone, and they say that the average doctor can make a diagnosis, or not that they can make an accurate one, but they make a diagnosis in their mind, typically, in the first 18 seconds in a room. That's pretty staggering. It takes a lot of prideful intuition, I think, to be able to do that quickly, rather than listening to all the facts and to actually formulate, what's really going on with the person. And it's amazing to me that happens, but at the same time, I think more than anything, and that was quoted by Jerome Grootman, by the way. He wrote a book about hope and being a physician. And it's pretty incredible when you look at that and think, I think doctors know more than anything if a person wants to get well or not. And it really comes down to that, because if a person has an attitude that they want to get well and that they want to stay well, they want to live well, they want to thrive with their health, they don't really want to be sick. Some people find their identity in being sick. Some people can find who they are. They like the attention. It's attention they've never received before. And they get into a place where the attention actually becomes the driving force for a disease process. It becomes who they are, rather than just a health challenge they're dealing with or they've been faced with. If they can come up with a new set of choices and a new set of circumstances to get them out of that health challenge. And that becomes where the victory is. It just depends on a person and their willingness to be able to move through that. And that's what it means, to be able to get well, to be able to mentally get well, meaning that you have a shift in your mind. And I mean, for some people, that may mean that your medicine gets cut in half. Well, you're still on the road to getting well, because if you're taking 500 milligrams of medicine every day, and the doctor said you're going to have to take it forever, and now through your lifestyle choices and the choices that you're making now, you're able to cut the medicine down to 200 milligrams a day, and your body's functioning at a higher level, then are you winning? Yes, you are. And that's what's important. It's important to learn the fact that your body can change, but your mind is the one area that has to get well first. And that's what we want to help you do here on the show. 888-283-7272. Let's go to Joe now. Hi, Joe. Welcome to the show.
How you doing, Dr. Hayes?
Living well, man. What's up?
I'm having a gum problem. Pyrrhea gum. Anything that I can use for that?
Okay, your gums are what's going on with your gums? Have you been to the dentist, and did they tell you something?
Well, I guess it's been about 4 or 5 years since I've been to the dentist.
Okay. What's going on with the gums? Are they hurting?
Well, they get a little sore sometimes.
Typically, if the gums are getting sore, your body's getting a little bit low in vitamin C, or it could be periodontal disease, which is where there's an infection in the gum lining, right on the edges, and it can cause the gums to recede. It can cause a little red line to form around them, and it's periodontal disease is pretty common after the age of about 40 with folks if they don't go to the dentist on a regular basis. So, I mean, you don't go every 6 months and get your teeth cleaned and all that?
Oh, it's been a while since I had my teeth cleaned.
Well, I mean, has it been 5 years?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I mean, Joe, the only thing you need to do, I would just go to your dentist. I'd make an appointment sometime in the near future, maybe the next couple of weeks, and go in and see them. And what's going to happen is they probably will, if it is periodontal disease, they'll probably treat that. Okay, and then there's cleaning that they'll need to do within the office. But, the whole thing about going to your dentist every 6 months is not just a gimmick, but you've got tartar that builds up on, around the teeth, and it gets down into the gum line, and that's what can create a lot of the periodontal disease. And, again, the older we get, the more susceptible we are to that disease, and it's not a good thing. Obviously, it can lead to a lot of issues. And believe it or not, having a healthy gum line and having a healthy oral cavity, mouth, is critical to our health. Matter of fact, Weston Price who was a dentist, he actually found so much correlated with what was going on inside of our mouth throughout the rest of our body, and a lot of disease processes that can start within, poor dental care, and that could lead to other areas within the body. So it's important. It really is. If you check out that information, Weston A. Price Foundation, if you want to read on how he tied all that together, pretty impressive. But yeah, I would consider, go to your physician, go to your dentist here in the next couple of weeks and see what they have to say. You don't want to let that sit. It'll only get worse. Definitely not going to get better. Vitamin C would be a vitamin that can cause some of the soreness within the gum line, but I mean, this is not one of those things where I'm telling you, take vitamin C and then call me in 2 weeks. I'm not even doing that at all. I'm saying go see your dentist and consider looking at some vitamin C. And ask him about it, or her, whoever you see. And you'll find out that, there's probably some bacteria that's built up in there they need to treat and take care of, and they can. But, beyond that, you might want to look at cleaning up your diet a little bit, entering in some vitamin C, and keeping that level up too. But it's more about getting that repetitive care with your dentist. And that's just going to keep you out of having any potential periodontal disease, which we're seeing more than more. It's because of not just poor hygiene habits, but it's also poor dietary habits that lead to that as well.
Did you know that you can listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Great information to empower your health and your life, and also Facebook and Twitter. If you're not on there, you need to be. Get all behind the scenes. Also, if you have questions about your health, you can drop them on there as well. We'll do our best to answer and give you the help that you need. Vitamin D protects against age-related vision loss. ABC News reported they're warding off vision loss in old age. I love vitamin D. This is really the wonder nutrient of our time. I think vitamin C was so big back in the 50s and 60s, and this is just that new nutrient that we've discovered that everybody's deficient in, and it's like every day we're finding new things that it affects, and it comes, we get vitamin D from the sun, it hits our skin, and then is stimulated within the body. But we need it from our diet too, just because of so much of what we do is indoors, and we're just finding how much we need it. And it's just important. It's one of those things that everybody needs to be taking, really. You got to be careful. You need to have blood work done to make sure, because it is fat soluble and it can build up and get too high in the body. But the number to keep in mind is 70 to 90 on the blood test. And different physicians will have different thoughts on that, because, see, the range is between 30 and 100 in this quote-unquote safe clinical range. And when you get down around 30, 40, it's still too low. You can still see things like osteopenia, osteoporosis. You still see hormone issues being there, depressed mood. A lot of those types of things still will be around when you've got those levels, even on the low side of normal. So it's better to get them up, and it's better to have them between about 70 and 90. That's where you start seeing the peak benefits of vitamin D. So warding off the vision loss in old age will have more to do with what's in your kitchen, they say, than what's in your medicine cabinet. According to the new research published Monday, women who consume high levels of vitamin D through fish, dairy, eggs, and leafy greens could lower the risk of macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss later in life. You can cut it by 59%. In Monday's study, women who consume the most vitamin D cut the risk of developing early AMD by more than half when compared to women with vitamin D poor diets. Researchers found that risk is lowest when the patients consumed about 720 international units of vitamin D3 per day through foods such as cold water fish, leafy greens, and dairy. And I just want to note with that 720 units is not a lot. It's bare minimum. I mean, you can handle up to, most adults typically need around 5,000 units per day. Kids need and can handle about 1,000 units per day. So work with your doctor on it. Check the labels, because different brands, they have different absorption rates. I personally am a big fan. You want D3, but you want it from a very strong company that you know and you can trust. They make a liquid bioidentical vitamin D, and I'm a real big fan of that. It absorbs very well. It's utilized well, and it comes in liquid, so it's easier to dose out for children and for adults. And it's just a lot better. You can mix it with because it is an oil-based vitamin, a fat-soluble vitamin. It's better to mix that with, say, cod liver oil, because if you don't want to just take it with water. It'll cut down the absorption rate. Why? Because water and oil don't mix, and it does cut down on the absorption. Daniel in Largo, Florida, he writes, I'm recently divorced and currently in the process of starting over. Sorry, Daniel. I know that's a tough part of life. I'm under a lot of stress. Is there any certain diet I should be following? Well, if you're under a lot of emotional stress, there's several things that you need to do and that you need to consider. One is dietary changes, whether you're in stress, out of stress, life is great, life is a little bit tough. Whatever you're going through, diet is the key. And it's important to follow an anti-inflammatory diet regardless, to cut down on inflammatory foods as much as possible and balancing everything out. Equal amounts of lean protein sources like chicken, fish, beef, or eggs, low glycemic carbohydrates in the form of fruits and vegetables, and the good healthy fats, the omega-3s, 6s, and 9s, almonds, walnuts, cashews. So getting that, I mean, those are all in my book, and the anti-inflammatory diet is in there. And it's important to follow a good regimen, a steady regimen of those sorts of foods and getting a good foundation. But if you've just been divorced and you don't have the propensity to be depressed, you just feel stressed about it. You know, life is changing, and it's a tough thing to go through. It's really good. Obviously, I would talk with a physician, make sure that you don't need any antidepressants just to get through a tough time. And you might, I hope you're going to counseling of some kind. It's important, no matter how tough you think you are, to go through a time like that. It's still good to see someone and to talk with someone about it, because it's just good to get it out, and you can work through some really good items. Remember, the mental side of our health drives so much within our health that it's important to make sure that that's taken care of. But serotonin and dopamine are your two neurotransmitters that are vital in this. And keeping those levels up because of the way you feel and outside forces that can kind of force those down, keeping those balanced out and keeping those strong is going to keep you strong mentally and keep your health where it needs to be. So let's talk about a couple of things that can be helpful in that regard. Serotonin and these are two brain chemicals, neurotransmitters, big fancy word. But it's the dopamine is kind of our feel-good chemical. Serotonin is too, but serotonin, when it gets low, dopamine gets low, we get a little irritable as men. And when serotonin gets low, we just get bummed out and we lose our energy, vitality, just don't feel like doing much. Life gets a little tough. And so let me give you or paint a picture for you a little on what can be done. Now, with serotonin, certain foods can be helpful for that. And that's chicken, fish, salmon, spinach, beans, and turkey. All of those can be beneficial for raising serotonin levels from a food perspective. And then you've got to look at things like certain supplements. 5-HTP, very good for balancing and stabilizing serotonin. You usually use that before you go to bed, and it goes through the process of working with melatonin to make the serotonin. So it's a little couple-step process that does that. Tryptophan is involved, and it's been documented to be a very good supplement. So that's something that's important. Then also vitamin B6, pyridoxal 5-phosphate, is a version of B6 that works, and niacinamide, a version of B3. All those have been shown to help stabilize and create serotonin or more serotonin within the brain. Let's go to Juanita. Hi, Juanita. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
Sure,
I've
darling.
heard a lot about you, and I've been listening to you because of my son.
Well, great.
I'm a 60-year-old single grandmother, and I'm raising grandsons, very active, The youngest one is 10.
Wow.
I have artificial hips. I've had back surgery. I've had heart attacks. I have asthma. My thyroid doesn't work. I take medicine for that. And what I need to do is lose weight so I won't be so tired and I can keep up with these little munchkins of mine.
It's keeping you young, Juanita.
They have my life totally changed, and I think I'm living longer because of them. But it's kind of wearing me down. My knees are wore out, my elbows are wore out, and I was wore out before they came along.
So you need a game plan to keep Grandma from falling apart here in the middle
yes.
of it all. Okay. All right, so if everything's hurting, let's talk a little bit about, because inflammation in the body is always a starting point, making sure that we get inflammation down, that we get a good stable environment. That's going to be the key. So talk to me about your diet. Give me a little clue with what you eat on a typical basis, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I usually, we have chickens. We raise chickens, so I eat eggs and for breakfast. I love tuna fish sandwiches. I eat a lot of tuna. I eat lots of, I eat 5 meals a day because of their boys. And I figure even if we eat less, we eat more often. I just eat anything practically because usually I'm on the run with them. They both have autism, so they...
I can hear the chickens. I can hear the roosters out there now.
Yes, we have roosters and goats. And like I say, I keep busy, but yet I keep gaining this weight. And I have high cholesterol, and my triglycerides are off. And I've asked the doctor about how to lose some weight because I'm about 60 pounds overweight. And they just keep telling me, try.
Try.
And I need it. My son has registered me into a gym, which we just did that a week ago. So, but you have to travel across town to get to it.
I feel like this is the Green Acres version of our show here today. I can hear roosters in the background, goats walking around. This is great, which actually kind of is exciting because what a great way to live. My goodness. Do you drink goat's milk? Do you milk the goats and all that?
Well, we haven't lately. In fact, I love goat's milk more than anything, but we don't do that yet. They're mostly pets. Like I say, my grandchildren have autism, and I try to keep them busy, tending to animals and give them some responsibility. And it's a lot of work for me, and the more work I do, it seems like the more I eat.
Yeah, I understand. Wow, that's great, though. You're being such a great example for those kids. And with autism, which is a challenge within itself, they're very blessed to have you. Let's get into a game plan for you when we come back.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Juanita, really a just unique individual, and I say that because being a grandmother and now taking care of her grandkids on a farm, they have autism, and so you're doing everything you can to keep yourself together and body functioning at a high level, and yet being there for them, having the energy, having the vitality to keep up with them, and really to play mom now, even though you're grandma, and which is a task within itself, but I think, and like you said, it keeps you young, but your body needs to be able to keep up as well. And probably from the stress. You were saying you eat a little bit more than normal and probably hanging out with the boys a little bit more too. And so how much weight do you think is excess on you that you need to drop?
60 pounds.
Okay. So you know that for sure. Now,
Yeah.
being out on the farm and whatnot, are you in a place where you can get into town where maybe you could get with like a personal trainer at a gym, like a YMCA?
Well, my son registered me for a gym. It's across town, and I can get to him. But I was thinking more like, what can I do to, as far as eating, and I don't know what a gym person does.
Well, yeah, no, I'm going to explain all that to you. I just want to make sure that that's available. I mean, is it like an hour drive, 30-minute drive?
It's about a 30-minute.
One way?
One way.
All right. Then here's the deal. 3 days a week, and I'm telling you this because it's big picture. 3 days a week, it's going to be important. It was me. If I would 3 days a week go to that gym and set up time with a trainer. And I would do that, don't do them back to back. Do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or however you want to orchestrate your days is fine. But you want to get with a trainer, and you only need to do it for about a month. And you go there and you work out with a trainer for about a month. Keep a journal, so write everything down of the exercises and the way that they put that together for you. Write everything down, every workout. Okay. And then you can use that workout for about 6 months, 3 to 6 months. And you can just kind of modify it a little bit, use it, repeat it, change the weights up on it. And then in about 6 months or so, go for another month with a trainer. Maybe pick a different trainer, and you'll get different workouts. Write those down, and you can use them. That way you're not spending a lot of money. You'll spend, $20, $25 per training session, but it's worth it. And then you'll have somebody there for accountability. You'll have someone to teach you how to do it properly. You won't be wasting your time, and you'll get great benefit from it. You'll learn how to do those kind of things because it is important. Because first of all, you're committed, you're driving, and you need the weight training, being that you're 60, because you need to have the weight-bearing exercise. You need to build the lean muscle mass. And that's why, I would just tell you, just go to the farm, go down and move some bales of hay and walk around the farm. But that's not going to help you really reach your total goal. It's not. You need to go somewhere if you have the availability. And I didn't know if you were 2 hours away from a gym or a civic or community center or whatever. So the fact that you're pretty close, that's good. That's doable. That's not unrealistic. So that's something to work out, however you work your schedule out. Now, eating-wise, a copy of my book would be important for you. And I would get a copy of that. There's a diet in there called the anti-inflammatory diet. If you want to eat well, that diet will lead you down the right path. It creates and puts together foods that will bring health to the body, not take it away. And so eating those kind of foods are very, very important, such as lean quality proteins, chicken, fish, beef, eggs, and the low glycemic carbohydrates in the form of fruits and vegetables, which you probably have a lot of there on the farm. But you want to stay away from grains, okay, the grain-based food. And you can do gluten-free later on, but right now it's steer clear of all the grain-based or flour-based foods, bread, pasta, cereal, crackers. Those kind of foods they stimulate a lot of insulin, but they have a protein in them called gluten. And gluten is a real challenge because it creates a lot of inflammation in the gut, and it can create instabilities with neurotransmitters or brain chemicals, causing some challenges within the body and the brain. So by eliminating those, it's going to help you regulate your hormone system, regulate your metabolism, and then, of course, your body will start dropping weight. Typically when somebody is going through, whether they've been eating the wrong kind of foods for a long period of time or overeating, they start following the anti-inflammatory diet. The average weight loss is about 28 pounds in about 8 to 12 weeks. Everybody's different, but that's typical. You'll find a real strong amount of weight loss. Now, for somebody that's already thin, they're not obviously going to lose that kind of weight, but it's all dependent on the body and where it is, how much inflammation it has, and kind of how much it needs to drop. The body has what it's called its own set point. And a set point is just it's really an area that the body kind of seeks to get into its own place. And so just understanding that is really important. So coming up with the right habits is what's going to be important. And on my website, you'll see there's certain health prescriptions. I call them the 7 health prescriptions. You can find those there, and they are certain keys that will get you into a really good place with your health. And I'm just excited for you. I'm excited that you're in a place where you're helping take care of those kids, that they have a grandmother like you that's willing to step up and say, you know what, you have autism. I'm so proud of you. I'm here to take care of you. And you're just going to make it happen for those kids. I think it's amazing. And it's being a remarkable person to do that. So I'm glad you've reached out to take care of you, because by taking care of you, to be energetic and vital and have everything you need, you're taking care of them. And it's a very selfless thing to do. Puts another hour in the charts. I'd like to thank our producer, Jay Patrick, Leslie Pardue, and the rest of the team. I'm your health and lifestyle coach. Go tell one person something you learned on this show, and together we can change the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the best in healthy talk radio, where we're diagnosing hope one person at a time.
Did you know you could listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the Asa Rx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.